And we are live out there on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. What's going on, everybody? File on in here. We are getting started here momentarily. Hello, Chris. Hello, Bree. How we doing?
Hello, Dave.
Day after Father's Day. Did you have a good Father's Day, Dave?
I did. Yeah, I did. Nice and relaxing. Nice and relaxing.
No, it wasn't. You've got a newborn at home.
That's true. We're live, Chris. We're live. I'll tell you off air.
That's outstanding, though. First one with the new crew, really.
That's right.
First Father's Day with the full crew.
That's right. Come on, guys, get in here. File on in. We got Jamie Gillan coming on, Browns punter, Sam Amico talking some NBA draft, getting the show out there, and then we will get started here in about 1 minute.
Oh, come on.
You can do it, Chris.
I'm good.
Tweet the show.
I'm having problems.
Well, we know.
Story of your life. Come on, man.
Here we go.
Good work.
Go. Copy link. There.
Good
Woo!
work. You ready to kick this thing
Twitter,
off?
Go. Go, Twitter, go. I'm figuring it out. Don't you patronize me.
That's right. Let's kick this thing off. Let's hear from our sponsor. The Big Play Cleveland Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News is your go-to for gaming news, covers all your gaming content needs, game guides, gaming interviews, a bunch of awesome original video content. They have the best breakdown of E3 that just happened last weekend. A lot of great content over on Shack News. Head on over to Shack News and get into the conversation by clicking on that Shack News Twitter profile in our show title. Hit that follow button because when it comes to gaming news, there's only one website to visit, ShackNews.com. We got a great show. We got Jamie Gillan coming in here in a second. It's the Big Play Podcast. Welcome to the Big Play Cleveland Reflog Show. Tonight is Monday, June 17th, 2019. I am your host, Big Play Dave, alongside my main man, Mr. Chris McNeil. What's up, Chris?
How you doing?
I'm fantastic. And Breezy Clee, how we doing?
Hey, guys. Doing great.
Fantastic. We got a packed show. I say we get right into it. Happy Father's Day, Chris, if I didn't talk to you. Can't remember if we did. Good stuff.
Happy Father's Day to you as well, Dave.
There we go. We're moving. Tonight on the show, we have Browns punter Jamie Gillan joining us here in about 1 minute. We got Sam Amico from AmicoHoops.net coming on to talk some NBA draft. Just a couple of days away here. Power Rank Monday, top 3 nicknames in sports. We will break down the latest headlines in Cleveland sports for the week, hit you with a couple Would You Rathers, and end the show with our bold predictions of the week. Let's kick things off with our first featured interview of the night.
Was that a pun?
Oh, I didn't even mean it to be. Yes! On the line, we have Jamie Gillan, a.k.a. the Scottish Hammer, Browns rookie punter from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Jamie, welcome to the Big Play Cleveland Reflog Show, my man. How we doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Up a little bit.
Yeah, how you doing?
Great. How are you guys doing?
We're fantastic.
Great.
Thanks for joining the show here.
Oh, pleasure's all mine. I'm excited to be on it.
Absolutely. Love it. Let's kick it right off here. So you grew up in Scotland. How much did you know about American football before coming over here?
I didn't know anything. I only played rugby and a little bit of, as you call it, soccer over here with my friends and stuff at school. So I'd run track and play rugby and play a little bit of soccer. So I didn't pay any attention to football.
Okay, so you started paying attention to football when you got a D1 scholarship. I heard this happened through Facebook. Is that true?
Yes, sir, it did. It was through a friend who just happened to be sitting in the gym working, and he saw that they needed a guy, a kicker and a punter, and he threw my highlight film in there just for fun. And then I got a phone call that night offering me a full scholarship.
That's insane.
Incredible.
So how much did you know about Arkansas Pine Bluff before this message, or even before you went there?
Absolutely nothing, because I didn't even know the state of Arkansas existed.
Oh, that's too funny. So what was it like? You coming over the first time to the States. You go to Arkansas, which you didn't know existed. What was college like right when you got there?
It was good. It was different. Pine Bluff is a different kind of town, but it's nice. It's treated me awesomely. But for me, it was a full scholarship, and I got fed for free. I got a free education, which I never thought I was going to get a college degree, and I somehow did. And then got to play 4 years of football. Now I'm with the Browns right now, so I think I've ticked a few good boxes with that. So college is good.
That's right. So I didn't know this, but what our associate producer for our other show on Wednesday nights, the Big Play Podcast, Boston Bryce the Fourth, he sent me a message today, and he goes, "When you're talking to Jamie, make sure you bring up the Lion House." The house that you and your teammates stayed in. And he goes, "Just know what happens in the Lion House stays in the Lion House." What's he talking about?
I can't believe Boston brought that up. No, it's just I'd rented this. Everybody kind of stayed in campus and stuff, and I went to boarding school when I was a kid. I went to boarding school when I was 12, so I was used to rooming with people. My first year of boarding school, a big room with 12 people, and then by my last year there, I was in a single room. And so when I went to my first year of college and I had to room with someone, I'm 18 years old. Normally in Scotland, I wouldn't even be living in a dorm. So I move into a dorm and I have a roommate at Arkansas Pine Bluff. I was like, no, this can't happen anymore. And so I moved off campus, got a house, and I happened to be like the only person on the team that had like a solid house, and the rent was super cheap. I had like a 3-4 bedroom house, and yeah, so Saturday nights used to be pretty fun there after games and stuff. So I think that's what he's referring to.
I think you might be right.
So taking it back onto the field for you, you were a good kicker as well as a punter in college there, Jamie. Do you think that versatility helps you out when it comes to making this team?
I think it could. It's a football game. Anything could happen. There was a few kickers that went down last year, and the punters couldn't kick the field goal, so they had to go for two. So, I think that would be that's a good leg to have for me with maybe being able to go in and hit the extra point or do whatever it is I've got to do, kick off as well. But Mr. Prefer is just worried about me punting and holding just now, so I'm getting really good working with that.
All right, back off the field. I saw you nail the beer chug on the Jumbotron at the Tribe game. Who in this rookie class can pound a beer the fastest? Inquiring minds want to know.
I don't know. I don't know. The big boy Drew to my left, but he put that one home.
Yeah, he did.
When me and him were on the Jumbotron. I don't know. Maybe we need to have like a competition or something for a YouTube video or something.
Yeah, there we go.
That would make for great television. I have to ask you the question. So you have a little taste of Cleveland with the Indians here and the beer chugging. And, as an undrafted free agent, I'm sure that you had many teams willing to bring you in. Why did you pick Cleveland? And what are your initial thoughts on the city?
So the reason it was a no-brainer for me for Cleveland because Mr. Prefer. Mr. Prefer flew me out to flew me out. He flew out to Arkansas to work me out, and we had a really good meal together. Took him out to an Irish restaurant, so we had some shepherd's pie and chatted for a while. And we really got along. I really liked how he talked about punting and kicking. So when it came to, and then they flew me out for a visit, so I got to see the facility, which was awesome. And they just, the Browns showed me a lot of love before the draft. And, you know, when it came, I had some options, but it was definitely going to be the Browns. And as first impression of the city, I love it. It's nice to be able to go to different spots and enjoy different scenery and meet the people. The people have been fantastic here. You know, a few people, I didn't know it was going to be this crazy, but a few people, you know, recognized me and stuff and came up to chat to me and everything. And just some lovely people around here and lovely fans. And obviously very, very hardcore fans as well, which is awesome. It's great to have that, you know, behind you as a team. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, you can't miss your head of hair. I have to say I'm quite jealous of it.
The big mop on my head.
I love it. So to kind of go off on the players, is there anyone on the team that you really looked up to and as a leader, or anyone that has offered advice that you'd like to share?
That's tough because, you know, there's a lot of leaders in the team.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been talking to them. Honestly, I'm getting my most advice I'm getting is from Colquitt just now. You know, I'm really, really getting along with Colquitt and Charlie, the long snapper, and Greg. They've all taken me under their wing and are showing me the ropes and stuff. So we're working out together and just gives me advice here and there. But we do have like a lot of meetings and stuff, and it was nice to hear some of the other veterans talk about how to not blow all your money and save your money. So I'd really say the best advice they've given me was actually from our head strength and conditioning coach, and he told us, he brought us around and he said that, you know, don't let hard work be a reason for you to get kicked off this team or to not be on this team come September, you know. And what he's meaning by that is, you know, you're here for a reason. You're not here just to mess around or just wear a Cleveland Browns shirt. You're here to play. And so, you know, utilize the day the best as possible. And every time you come in and lift weights or punt or run or go out and throw, make sure you do your best at it so you can keep getting better every day. And I really took heed to that. But that's how I've been since I was a kid. You know, I've treated my rugby like that, and football's no different. So I like that advice.
Well, you mentioned that Colquitt may have given you some advice. Did he give you any advice on dancing or on local commercials at all? Because I don't know if you know this, but Britton Colquitt had one of the most amazing local commercials you will ever see. And if you haven't seen it yet, you'll have to go onto YouTube and look it up because it is amazing. And I'm assuming you have
after this.
Yeah, you will. I mean, literally, look it up, Colquitt commercial Browns, and it will come up. Watch the whole thing, and you will. Well, first of all, you'll just be amazed at what you just saw. But the dancing in it, the dog at the end, the whole thing is magical. So that's my treat to you. Go back and do that. Do that as homework tonight.
I appreciate that because Colquitt is an absolute character. He's a hilarious guy, so I can see this being pretty funny.
Yes, it is. So, Jamie, we are, you know, we were chatting earlier today. You said you just got done punting. How far are you bombing it nowadays here in the summer?
I don't know. I normally set up the cones, you know, from the scrimmage line, 45 yards away to 50 yards away, and just practice, you know, hitting the coffin corners, hitting the outside numbers, you know, so I'll be hitting the past those cones most of the time, so.
Good stuff. All right, the last one before we get you out of here. I host a monthly poker club called the Single Malt Poker Club here in Cleveland. We try out a new bottle of single malt scotch each time. Any recommendations from the homeland?
Ooh, so many. Honestly, if you can get your hands on any Glenlivet, you'll be very satisfied with that.
Fair enough. We've had that one. It is definitely a good one. You got good taste, my man. Thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate the time. We know you're busy. Great stuff. Go give him a follow at Scottish Hammer 7. Jamie, appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon, my man.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on again. You guys have a good night.
You as well.
Thanks, Jamie. Bye.
Great stuff. What a good dude.
Yeah.
Gotta
Could
love
listen to his accent all day. Just read me the dictionary.
There you go. There you go. Oh, we got Blake on YouTube watching. Says, gotta love the hammer. Scottish hammer, man. Good stuff. I love that he talked about, the advice that he's getting in Britain. Colquitt's kind of giving him advice, and they're competing. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think that says a lot about this team too, because that's probably a cultural thing within this team where you got guys helping each other right now because everybody's trying to push forward and make this organization better, and that's just good. I like to see that kind of thing around the periphery going on with the Browns right now.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff. So, Jamie, good work. We are rooting for you here at Big Play. We got another interview coming up here. Let's see if he is in here. He's been all over the Cleveland media today. He might have fallen asleep. We'll have Alec try to rope him in. Sam Amico. Chris, I know you want to talk about it. The draft is coming up here in just a few days. I know it's your favorite event.
Oh yeah, the NBA draft. I'm just psyched. Come on, I am going to a cool party though. I'm going to the Cavs draft.
Talk about that.
Party
What is
on
that?
Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, with the Cavs organization. So that should be fun. We'll see how that turns out. Hopefully the Cavs wind up by the end of the night being significantly better than what they were at the start of the night. And so that should be a good time come Thursday.
Look at you, big wigging it. And it was at where was it at? Punch Bowl, you said?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to say that though.
Oh no, I said it.
Party.
Hey, they didn't invite me, so you can't get in trouble.
Right.
Let's move on.
See, Chris.
We got another awesome interview coming on here, so let's bring him on in. We are switching gears from our Brownies over to our Cleveland Cavaliers. On the line, we have Sam Amico, the Cavs insider, Cavs reporter over at AmicoHoops.net. Sam, how we doing, my man? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I heard you on the radio today. I thought maybe did you get a nap in?
You know what? I almost always get a nap in, and today I did not. And I even thought tonight when I'm talking to you guys, I'm probably going to be tired. But I'm not because I've had like 7 cups of coffee. So I probably
all jazzed up.
Probably be talking over you. You won't be able to get a word in. You know what's kind of funny, by the way? The number you gave me to call was not the right number. But
no.
I called it. It's okay. It was great fun. And you know what the guy says? He says, hello. And I said, hey, it's Sam Amico. And he says, I don't know you. And I said, well, that's not a big surprise.
Oh, no.
But,
oh, man, I'm just looking.
So he was very angry with me.
Good.
So, anyway.
Keep that number. That's the one we're going to start giving out every single time. That's great stuff.
God, leave the people alone, Sam.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm going to call him every night.
That's right.
If I call him enough, he'll get to know me, right?
Oh, man, I wish I could blame the intern for that one, but that was all me. Sam, I'm glad you made it on. Let's get into it. That's right. Talk some Cavs draft here. First 2 to 3 picks in this draft. It seems like those are pretty much gimmies. Do you see any real big surprises before the Cavs actually get on the board in those top 3 as you get to what was the Lakers pick at 4?
No, I can't imagine that there's surprise. You're talking Zion Williamson, Morant out of Murray State, and R.J. Barrett. If anybody other than those 3 went in pretty much that order, it'd be a huge surprise. So really the intrigue does really start at 4, which is, really going to be the Pelicans pick after this trade with the Lakers. I don't know how this is going to work, by the way, whether the Lakers are making that pick for the Pelicans and then they've got to wait. I think that's what it is, because this trade, I believe, cannot go down official until July 6th. So sounds like the Lakers will be making that pick for the Pelicans. That said, we're hearing, a lot of stuff that the Pelicans are shopping that pick to, other teams, not necessarily the Cavs, but other teams, and that could change what the Cavs are doing at 5. So the draft to me really starts at 4, and I really think with the Cavs, it's going to come down to Culver from Texas Tech or DeAndre Hunter from Virginia. I think those are the two guys that they'll get one of those two, and I think those are the two guys that they really want. So, however that turns out, if Culver goes 4, I think the Cavs will take Hunter, and if Hunter goes 4, I think they'll take Culver at 5.
We are chatting with Sam Amico. Go give him a follow at Amico Hoops, especially leading up to this NBA draft. Sam, do you see a realistic option on draft night where the Cavs move J.R. Smith, maybe for an additional pick this year?
Yeah, I think that's something that's realistic. There are a lot of teams that are looking to get out of the first round, later in the first round, simply because they would like some cap relief. Oklahoma City, Portland. Oklahoma City, I know for a fact that they're not even trying to hide the fact that they're trying to get rid of that 21st pick. They just don't want to bring in a rookie on a guaranteed contract next year. So that's potentially a possibility for a team that's looking for JR's contract doesn't become fully guaranteed for another week or two. So if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder and you get that trade, you make that trade, say 21st pick, and the Cavs would obviously have to take back some salary, which they'd be more than happy to do to get, say, the 21st pick from Oklahoma City, or 25. I think Portland's drafting 25th. So those teams that are kind of looking for cap relief would be more than happy. I know Miami is very interested in potentially taking on J.R. Smith's contract. I don't know that they want to give up 13, but if the Cavs were to make that kind of trade, they'd probably have to take back Ryan Anderson, who I forgot was even in Miami till I looked at their roster. So you'd probably have to take back somebody like that, but if you would be willing to do that, the Cavs would be willing to do that if they got the 13th pick as well. So they're going to explore quite a few things, and potentially I'd be surprised, put it this way, guys, I'd be surprised if they weren't able to move that J.R. Smith contract. And if they can't, then guess what? Then they just waive them, and they get a little cap relief themselves.
Interesting. So out on the other hand, from an off-season perspective with the Cavs, what else do you see them doing during this off-season? Do you see anything in terms of any Michigan players with Beeline coming in now?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's funny you ask that because my gut feeling is they probably won't do much else other than move JR and potentially get another first round pick or early second round. And it's funny that I feel that way because I felt the same way ahead of the trading deadline both years. And both years, Kobe Altman just made like 7 moves. So I was terribly wrong, and I'm sure I will be again. Probably more than I'm right. But anyway, and that's a very interesting question about the Michigan players, because I thought that myself. Now, Charles Matthews, who I thought might have been under consideration with their 26th pick, but the Cavs' 26th pick that they got from Houston, he tore his ACL during a workout, so that's probably out of the question. I don't think that he may not even get drafted now. But he could be a potential signee. I think that they will look at some Michigan guys for sure. If not in the draft, because they don't have any second round picks as of now. So I don't think they're going to draft a Michigan guy at 26. But if not in the draft, then certainly some summer league invites. And what I find interesting, being a Medina resident, is that, the 7-footer John Teschke from Medina plays at Michigan, and he's a junior. Now, next year, he will certainly be eligible. He'll be eligible for the draft and certainly be under consideration, I would think, to be, if not a late first, a second-round pick. And if not a second-rounder, probably a guy who's who's going to garner tons of interest from the Cavs, at least for Summer League. So I certainly think there are Michigan guys on their radar. Yes, absolutely.
Kind of along those same lines with Beeline, how much say do you think he will have in the draft process this year?
Oh, I'm sure they'll seek his input. I mean, for one, he spent 12 years in the college game.
Right.
Not only coaching against a lot of these players, but scouting them, watching film of them, preparing his team for them. I've heard that he really likes DeAndre Hunter. So he's going to have some input. Kobe Altman will have the final say, but everybody's going to have some input. And I think Beeline, since that's a great question. I think that he will actually have much more input than, say, if they had just hired an NBA coach, because NBA coaches aren't, they're not as familiar with the college players as Beeline's going to be. And not only has he scouted a lot of these guys to get ready for when Michigan plays them, but a lot of these players, toward the end of the first round, those are a lot of the guys that he tried to recruit at Michigan, some unsuccessfully so. So, yeah, I think that they really will value not only his input, but also Gottlieb, the female coach they hired from Cal, who has plenty of experience. Obviously, she was coaching Cal's women's team. But, a lot of those coaches, men and women, run in the same circles. And I'm sure she's familiar with a lot of the draft prospects as well.
Sam, you wrote a really interesting article today on AmicoHoops.net. Kobe Altman, switching gears from Beeline, you said he might deal the 5th pick. He could deal it. I got to think if he's dealing it, it's not to trade up. Do you really think this is going to happen? I hate trade downs, man.
I'm with you there. First of all, thank you for saying I had an interesting article on Amico Hoops that makes you and my mother, who thinks so, and I don't really even guarantee her. But anyway, secondly, yeah, I would say, I'm not a big fan. Now they're trying to get as many people as they can, but if they feel that the difference between, say, Jared Culver's there at 5 and there's not that big of a difference between, say, Jared Culver and Cam Reddish from Duke, who could go 8 to the Hawks, well, then they may say, and if the Hawks are really in love with Culver or DeAndre Hunter, which I know they really do love Hunter, and he's there, there's a possibility the Cavs could say, we'll give you 5 for 8 and 10 only because they would feel that Reddish will be as good, if not better, than Hunter. So, and then on top of that, they get 10. But, you have to remember, everybody who's drafted in the first round next year is a guaranteed contract. So, for 3 years anyway. So, it's like, how long do we want to keep? We really have to commit to all of these guys and have just such an unbelievably young lineup around, say, Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love and, Coach Beeline. It's really going to be a growth process. I think that they're open to those type of things, but I think if they trade number 5, I think they're more likely to do it for somebody who's already in the league and a younger player who fans would get excited about. Now, who is on that list, I have no clue, but I think, if you're talking 5th pick, you look around the league and you see maybe some young guys who haven't been great fits in their current situations. Could you trade number 5? This is a long shot probably, but could you trade number 5 for number 6 and TJ Warren from the Suns? Or, I don't think the Suns are really ready to give up on Josh Jackson yet, but could you do that? Maybe. The Suns are definitely talking trade with the 6th pick and Josh Jackson and TJ Warren. So, if that kind of possibility arises, then I think that you trade down. But you would also want a young player in return. You wouldn't just want to move out of that spot just to get an extra draft pick, I would think.
Sam, who won the Anthony Davis trade?
Well, that's, I think that on paper, if you look at the here and now, you would say the Lakers, obviously, getting an established all-star. I think it's going to be real interesting, though. What are they going to fill out the rest of the roster with, the four of us? It's how are you going to go? Not that that would necessarily be a bad thing, but how are you going to go? From what if you don't get another superstar in free agency, if you don't, Kyrie Irving or Kawhi Leonard or Jimmy Butler, or Kemba Walker, I wouldn't even call Jimmy Butler and Kyrie and Kemba a superstar. I call them all-stars.
Yeah.
So if you don't get any of those guys, what are you going to do around LeBron and Anthony Davis? And not to mention the fact, LeBron, while superhuman, is going to be a 35-year-old superhuman. So there's a lot there that is unanswered for the Lakers, I think, still to this point. But and the Pelicans, I'm not totally sold by any stretch on Lonzo Ball. I'd be a little bit concerned with Brandon Ingram coming off a blood clot, in his shoulder. That's kind of a serious thing. I'm sure they've done all the medicals and everything, but still, that's kind of scary. And the fourth pick in this draft isn't really supposed to be, a franchise changer. So the Pelicans did very well for themselves for the future. I think that long-term and overall package and overall picture, I would probably give the edge to the Pelicans because they have a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz, and don't forget now they're handing the key to the franchise to Zion Williamson. So that is going to be a young, exciting, intriguing team, and it just so happens that these other two draft picks that they're getting from the Lakers in the future are going to be when LeBron's like 38, 39 years old. So, I think that if the Lakers don't win a championship, they've mortgaged their entire future on the possibility of them not winning a championship. And if they don't, then yeah. So I would give an edge to the Pelicans. And it will be real interesting to see if Ingram, who really came around before he got injured, really started to show some real all-star potential right before the blood clot. I think that this is really going to be Griffiths turned them into a team to watch for sure.
Yeah, and with the trade, you've already kind of touched on it with what's happening at 4 now, right in front of us. But do you see any other movement there that's on the horizon, or anything that, kind of reading the tea leaves, you see that could affect the Cavs for Thursday for the draft as a direct effect of this trade?
Yeah, only because absolutely with the Pelicans kind of what seemingly is shopping that pick, and there's still some more moves that they're intending to make. And it's kind of funny that David Griffin is going to be the guy who really impacts the Cavs a lot in the draft. There's been talk that they're trying to get Bradley Beal. Now that would probably take the 4th pick and Solomon Hill and maybe Lonzo Ball or something, So if that's the case, then all of a sudden the Wizards have the 4th pick, and they may be looking at somebody totally different than the Cavs are, or maybe they want to move out of that spot. There's a lot. I think the Cavs aren't going to know until draft night, like, what are we doing? Who are we going to have potentially available to us? Are we going to be able to talk our way into a J.R. Smith deal? There's a lot at play here. And listen, on top of all of that, they're going to be taking calls. I don't think they're making calls, but they're going to be taking calls on Tristan and Kevin Love. People will certainly be calling about their veteran players because the Cavs are kind of now, on a youth movement. So it's going to be very interesting. They're going to have all kinds of options. And, if you saw like Brad Pitt in Moneyball when he was the GM, or, Billy Beane of the Oakland A's, and he was like calling one GM and then hanging up and then calling another and then putting another on hold. And that's basically how it goes right up until the final hours of the draft. So, it's hard to predict what could happen because so much changes in an instant on the night of the draft or the hours leading up to the draft. So the good news for the Cavs is they do have a lot of options, despite the fact there's really nationally been zero buzz about what they might be able to do. But every time that happens, it seems like Kobe Altman, pulls off 2 or 3 deals to surprise everyone.
We're chatting with Sam Amico. Go follow him on Twitter at Amico Hoops. Chris, did you want to say something real quick? I heard you.
Well, I was just going to say he's done it. Sam has made me interested in the draft now because there's enough intrigue now, enough that he's got floating around in my head that I went from 0 to now really caring about what's going to happen, because I think that drama, like you said, Sam, is going to unfold, and you never quite know what's going to end up happening. Kobe Altman is the ultimate with wild cards. And as soon as you summon the words Moneyball and start thinking about all the moves they made there, I start thinking about what we could be doing at the Cavs, being a serious underdog here, but having some assets, having some ways that we could move laterally and up top, that this could be interesting. So I'm sold. I'm going to be sitting there watching.
Well, fantastic.
I would be surprised if they just draft 5 and 26. I'd be surprised by that if that's all that happens. So should be something that is intriguing.
Yeah, Sam, at the end of every show, we give our bold predictions for the week. Going to put you on the spot. Bold prediction. Number 5, what do the Cavs do?
What do they do at 5? I think they're going to end up drafting DeAndre Hunter. I really do. I think that's what they'll do. But I also think there's a possibility that they will trade J.R. Smith. I think that's a strong possibility, actually.
Love it.
I'm gone.
Fantastic stuff. Sam, we greatly appreciate the time. Tell my friend at 2262 I said hello.
I'm going to call him right now and try and get him excited about the draft.
Yeah, you're on a roll, Sam. Go for it.
That's right. Go follow him on Twitter at Amico Hoops. Sam, where can all the good people find all your great content?
At Amico Hoops on Twitter, and then AmicoHoops.net on the website.
Fantastic, Sam. We appreciate
it.
Here
on your show,
That's right. We will be plugging you all week long, my man. Good stuff. We appreciate it.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys. Have a good week.
All right,
Thanks,
you too,
Sam.
Great stuff from Sam.
Take care.
Whew. Chris, was that enough draft talk for you? Good stuff.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Let's bring on this draft. It's huge.
Yeah.
New beginning, a new dawn.
It's been a while.
Boy.
It's been a while since we've cared about the draft.
Can't wait for your bold prediction, Chris.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
boy.
That's right. The
boy.
game changer. It's just amazing to be talking about J.R. Smith again. It's like it's so weird how, he's been there the whole time. Nobody's talking about him. Obviously, we're not playing him. We weren't planning on playing him, but he's just been there. And it's just so odd. And now
Right.
maybe there's some close come Thursday.
Yeah, raise your hand if you forgot J.R. Smith was on our team.
Yeah.
I will say, before we go to the next segment, I went back on Friday night because I'm a loser, I guess. After the Raptors won, I was reminiscing about the Cavs championship, and you can go on YouTube and literally watch an entire game within 10 minutes. So I went back and watched game 5, 6, and 7.
Wait, what do you mean by that? Like the
games from the series?
Like the cliff notes?
It's a 10-minute cut. It's actually amazing. You can watch the whole thing. They just cut when a team makes a basket, important plays. J.R. Smith was...
Did you watch any of the earlier rounds after that? Like, I have to go see the earlier ones now and then go back to the first round, second round.
No, I didn't. I should probably do that. But if you go, when we were down 3-1, just go on YouTube. I'll send you the link and watch game 5 and how spectacular and dominant the Cavs were, including J.R. Smith.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, J.R. was incredible. And then he didn't wear a shirt for 3.5 weeks.
On the golf course, at the parade, that was so magical.
That's right. All right, let's keep it going. We're going with some Power Rank Monday really quickly.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
All right, in honor of tonight's first guest, the Scottish Hammer, we're going to power rank our top 3 nicknames in sports. I will kick it off with my number 3. I'm going to go with Dr. Smooth. Wish we still had him. Dr. Smooth. My kids, it's like the worst nickname ever. It's so bad that it's good. It's so bad that it's good. My kids loved it, so that's the only reason I made the list. Number 2, I'm going Scottish Hammer. I am 50% Scottish, so I'm sticking with my man Jamie Gillan. It pays to be on the show. You make the list of best nicknames, so good stuff there.
If he makes the team, you got to get that jersey with Scottish Hammer on the back.
Yes.
That's a good call. Will that fit?
Yeah. Who cares? Make it.
That's right. Smaller font. And my number 1 is Eamon Owens. No D, no J. Damon Jones. Eamon Owens.
Ooh.
Christopher, what do you got for us?
At number 3, I've got Travis Hafner. Remember Travis Hafner?
Wow.
What did we call him? Pronk. And there were 2 stories. You guys know the 2 stories of how he got to be named Pronk?
No.
The official story was that it was 2 words put together. It was project and donkey. Project because coming up they knew he was a project player, and then donkey somehow because of Shrek, because he kind of looked like the main character from Shrek, and there was a donkey in that movie, so there we go. So project plus donkey equals Pronk. Well, the alternate story makes a lot more sense. And Omar Vizquel went on to Jim Rome's show and told this story. And I think it's actually in the book as well. I could be wrong, but he caught a glimpse of Mr. Travis Hafner, I guess, in the shower, and said that it looked a little bit like a donkey's. So therefore, project and donkey. So it was Pronk. So there we are. That is 100% true, folks. There you go. Wow. So Pronk is my number 3.
There we go.
What do you think of that? Pretty good, huh? Number 2. Vinny, the Microwave Johnson. Do you remember him? Back in the day at the Pistons? What a great nickname, the Microwave, because he heats up. Danny Ainge actually glossed him with that. I always thought that was so well done. And then number 1, going very phallic tonight, I guess. The big unit, Randy Johnson.
Yes.
The guy who was 6'10", threw so damn hard. It was so nice that the Indians beat him in the playoffs when he played for Seattle. Then later on, would go on to Kill That Bird that you can go onto YouTube and you see every periodically. But man, he was the original red ass out there on the mound, and the big unit just was totally perfect for him. His personality, the way he was, the way he threw, he was unbelievable. And that is my number 1 nickname.
Nice. Bree, what do you got for us?
All right, number 3. I'm going with the Greek Freak, mainly because my kids think that he's a real-life superhero, and also because you really have a hard time pronouncing his name.
That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah. Sure. Number 2, this pains me to say it, but Uncle Drew, Mr. Kyrie Irving's alter ego. Kyrie Irving's alter ego. I love it.
Why? I mean,
like
come
when
on.
He's an old man and schools people.
One of the worst movies of all time, by the way.
I actually enjoyed it.
You saw it? I didn't see it.
I did.
Oh,
no,
I
actually watched
I never
it.
saw that movie. Remember, he wasn't a Cav when they came out.
Right.
Either. You're a
I know.
When I think LeBron, I think he launched his Space Jam trailer like right before that movie came out, just to sabotage it. Yeah, so little respect for LeBron, but yeah.
All right, finally, number 1. My new favorite player of the NBA of all time, Boardman, Kawhi Leonard. You guys, I'm sure you've heard the story. If not, let me just tell you. So his former teammate at San Diego State that he played in college with called him the Boardman. And, you know, Kawhi Leonard, with the man of few words, said Boardman gets paid. And get paid did he ever. Won a championship, showed up to the parade today with a Boardman gets paid shirt. I love him so much, and I will stand for him at whatever team he goes to.
Yes.
He also made fun of his own laugh. Did you guys catch that?
He seems like such a good dude.
Yeah, he does.
I love him so much. So.
Do you really? I can't tell.
I love him.
Gushing again.
I wish we could trade for him.
That's right. Let's move into some Cleveland headlines. We mentioned it with Sam Amico. The NBA draft is this Thursday. Barring any trade surprises, the Cavs are picking number 5. First time since Andrew Wiggins at number 1 overall, being in that top 5 from 2015, which obviously didn't even turn out to be him. That was our Kevin Love trade. You look at the shakeup with the Lakers trading that number 4 pick for Anthony Davis. Sam mentioned it. There's, we don't know what's going to happen, but you look at our current team as constructed. Guys, any player on this roster who you would deem untouchable that you can't get rid of?
No, absolutely not. I'm looking at it. I mean,
in unison.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a pause at like Larry Nance Jr. I like Larry Nance.
Yeah.
What about Delly?
Delly, come on. He's not somebody who's going to be building for tomorrow. He's now, a traveled type of veteran in my mind.
Colin Sexton?
Yeah, I know.
He broke a bunch of records. I think he broke LeBron's record. He broke Kyrie Irving's record for 3-pointers.
You get a good offer. Are you turning it down because you say this guy's going to be the next Jordan? No. So, yeah, he's on the trading. Everybody's up, Jetty, come on. I mean, J.R. Smith, we already knew was gone. Jordan Clarkson, Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Kevin Love. I don't know. Any of those guys, make an offer. It's one of those things. It's like you're going through the garage and they're all things that are nice. Some of them are. And you're like, well, we could find a use for him later on. But if you want to make an offer today, let's go.
That's right. Shout out to General Patton in the chat room here. He says Colin can even go. Says Josh Jackson sucks. Blake out there, his top 3, the Freak, Javon Curse, El Guapo, Carlos Hyde, and the Big Unit. Blake agrees with you, Chris. Good stuff there. All right, let's keep going on. That's enough Cavs talk. Let's move on to some Tribe. Breaking news, the Tribe swept the Tigers. They've been doing it in style. Woo! Shane Bieber struck out 12 on Saturday. Trevor
Blank.
Yeah, Trevor Bauer, Chris, your boy, his first career complete game shutout yesterday.
That's my man right there.
Back on track. We had Leon
back on.
Yeah, Leonis Martin stole home. We had Jake Bowers hit for the cycle. Like, what is going on with our Cleveland Cavaliers? This is fantastic. A lot of excitement with the Tribe lately. We got a 4-game series against the Rangers coming up this week. What's that? Right. What'd I say?
You called them the Cavs.
You said the Cavs.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, whatever. we talked a lot of Cavs tonight. We got the Tribe going. It's like when I gave Sam the wrong number. Sorry again about that. I still can't believe that. That's awesome. 4-game series coming up against the Rangers. They play 14 straight games against some pretty bad teams. We got Detroit, KC, Baltimore, Kansas City again, and then Cincinnati. Indians are currently 10 games back of the Twins. Guys, what record do you think the Tribe needs to have over the next 18 games to make you kind of feel good after the All-Star break heading into the second half of the season?
To feel good?
Yeah.
18.
Oh, come on.
Just roll off 18. Then I'd feel good. Then I would feel good.
You're just mad because Bobby Bradley's not up.
And you got to call up the assassin, too. I'll tell you what, you win 0 games and call up the assassin. I'm feeling pretty good over here. But I think you really got to start about 12 games. Go 12-6, and then you start feeling good, okay? Because then maybe you're making up a couple of games. Then you're less than 10 games back of the Twins. You're probably tied or maybe up in the wild card at that point. Then you can feel good. So you got to be between 12 and 18 wins to be feeling good.
That's
I was
fair,
actually
Bree.
going to say 12 wins as well. I'm not going to go for 18 because remember that year that we won 22 in a row and it meant absolutely nothing?
Yeah.
I'd feel good about 12.
It mean nothing. I've got T-shirts, Bree.
Yeah, there are.
Come
That's
on,
right.
it's
There
an
was a
event.
T-shirt.
T-shirts.
The street.
Right.
Let's keep talking about the Tribe real quick here. All-Star voting. Newest voting update came out today for the American League. Indians now have 4 players in the top 10 at their position when we barely had any leading up to this coming week. Perez is 7th for the catchers. Kipnis is 8th for second baseman. Lindor's moved up to the top 5 for shortstops, and Santana is now in the top 3 for first baseman. Does this voting for the Tribe seem about right, Chris? Like, is this kind of where you thought we'd be? Would we have any All-Stars this year outside of Brad Hand?
Well, yeah, number one, Hand has been unbelievable. 20 for 20 in save situations at this point. Lindor, I didn't think he would be as low as 5th. I thought he would be much higher. Carlos Santana, I think people had, kind of thought that this is his veteran way of riding off into the sunset this season. So we got to reaccumulate or get the I don't know what the
you
word
got it.
is.
Come on, work it out. You got it.
Whatever. I can't talk tonight, I guess. But
Me either.
reacclimate the league to what he's trying to do right now, which is actually play really good baseball. And if it wasn't for Carlos Santana, we would not be in the spot we were in. So I think he'll continue to climb as people kind of catch on to that. So I don't know. It's not far off of where I thought. This team isn't loaded with a bunch of all-stars right now. They're not playing like all-stars. Jose Ramirez certainly kind of leads that charge. So, I'd say this is about where I expected them to be. If you would ask me a month ago, now if you would ask me at the beginning of the season, no, I thought we would have had guys playing a lot better than this.
Chris, if they brought up Bobby Bradley tomorrow, would he be an all-star?
Absolutely. I'd vote him in. Come on. I don't care if he's eligible or not. At least get him in the home run derby.
That's right.
I'm sitting here with my packs of cards, too, that I got for Father's Day, and I just opened one up.
Ooh.
And look at this card that I got. I got a very special card. I don't know if you could see this on camera.
There it is.
The very first pack I opened up, one Jeff McNeil. That's a pretty special guy there. He plays for the Mets right now, but eventually he will be an Indian, hopefully. Pretty special there. Jeff McNeil. Be watching for that guy.
That is
All-star.
a solid last name.
Right, man. That's right. I'm all about playing the last name.
That's right.
Freeman McNeil was my man. Gerald McNeil for the Browns was my man. And now Ryan McNeil.
So you got those packs for Father's Day. I think you should just randomly open them throughout the show and just give us an update.
I would.
Perfect. Let's keep it going. We got our guy, our Browns reporter, Nick Padone. He's going to jump in here for this next one. So we had the Jarvis Landry celebrity softball game this last week. Not the greatest weather. We haven't had the greatest weather over the last 3 weeks. It's been pretty brutal. But it had a good turnout. Nick Padone, our Browns reporter, was there. Nick, how we doing, my man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. Glad that I got the right phone number.
Oh, come on!
Give him the fake one.
Savage.
Yeah, that's. I really wish I could blame Alec on that. Really do. But what can you do? So we had some big names there, Nick. We had Bernie Kosar, Myles Garrett, Travis Kelce, local Cleveland guy. Stipe was there. How was the event? How did you enjoy yourself there?
Like you said, man, the weather was brutal. Completely opposite of probably what they hoped for a softball game. It was pretty much, a downpour from start to finish. It let up right before the game started, just in time for them to get the tarp off the field, and then it seemed like right as everyone came out, it started raining again. The game was cool to watch, as athletic as these guys are, in their respective sports, mostly football players out there. Not very good softball was played. I mean, Njoku had a few errors in center. I will say the one highlight, Bernie Kosar threw out the first pitch, and that classic park erupted. I mean, for a celebrity softball game, yeah, hats off to Bernie Kosar. He really got the game started off right, and it was electric thereafter.
So who is the worst softball player from our Browns or from Cleveland? I got to know.
I think I'm going to have to say Njoku. Like, literally the first, inning, first 2 innings, he's playing center field, and, 2 pop-ups come his way, and he's, like, playing them well. He's right underneath them, and it hits his glove and, like, falls right out of it. Like, not good at all.
Who was the MVP?
I'm not sure that they had one. I thought it was kind of interesting that Jarvis actually didn't hit Monica, who is an R&B singer. I wasn't aware of who she was before the game. Yeah, was there.
Monica?
And
Bree, do you know who this is?
Yep. And
yes, I do.
Wow, Bree is really fanning out here. What
90s Monica?
Yeah,
I didn't know she was be there. Wow. Okay, keep going.
So she actually laid down a couple bunts and then had Jarvis pinch run for her. So that was kind of neat. Because he's been dealing with like a minor undisclosed injury. So he didn't bat, but he was able to run. So that was kind of neat.
Makes you think it's something with his arms, right? His shoulder or something?
Yeah, maybe, because the way that he was running looked fine. And it really, any time that any Browns player got a hit and took off towards first base, the inside of me just kind of winced, because it was raining so hard and the field was so slippery. It was, honestly, I'm sitting there clenching my teeth at every time these guys took off, because one wrong twist of the ankle was all that I needed to see. But it didn't happen. They made it out of the game. Yeah, they made it out of the game unscathed, and it was a good time. It was a good event for charity.
Myles Garrett, did he hit a softball 600 feet?
He did not, unfortunately. What Myles Garrett did do is he owned some Browns fans in dinosaur trivia. They brought him on the field with a couple fans and were showing pictures of dinosaurs, and he had to answer it in a certain amount of time versus the fans, and he was just completely owning people. He knows probably close to every dinosaur in the book.
That's amazing.
That is Kappa on YouTube Live. He says, Nick, any word on if OBJ plans on attending training camp? Asking for a friend that's blocked me on Twitter.
Wow. Yeah, OBJ attended the OTAs that were mandatory, so I imagine he's going to be at training camp as well. That's a good question, though. Whoever asked that,
Great question.
Shout out to you for that question.
That's right. Nick, where can the good people follow you on Twitter, my man?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at NickPadone12.
Good stuff, Nick. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Thanks for the right phone number, too.
Get out of here. Alec, get him off the line. Good stuff, Nick. Follow Nick out there on Twitter. He's got some great Browns coverage, always interacting with the players, which is cool. Whew, all right. What do we got here?
So I've had some luck over here.
All right, let's see him.
Here we go.
I got a Shane Bieber. Pretty solid, right?
Wow. A lot of strikeouts.
And I got one, Francisco Lindor.
Ooh.
How about that? Here's what it says on the back about Lindor. Teammates struggled to identify anything at which Francisco doesn't excel. Quote, I think I could take him in golf, Indians reliever Dan Otero jokes. Affectionately known as Mr. Smile, the jubilant shortstop continued to thrive as one of the game's most dynamic leadoff hitters in 2018, establishing personal bests for homers, runs, and stolen bases. There you go, Francisco Lindor.
I thought you were going to say it says enjoy him on the back.
Enjoy him.
That's a write-in.
Must have been
thanks for bringing us down, Bree.
That's
Swept the Tigers.
That's a
Forget
good
about
joke.
what they're doing tonight. We're getting spanked right now. Come on, we're positive on the Indians again.
That's right. I got a Lindor question in the our Would You Rather, so let's kick it off here.
All right.
Boom.
All right, Chris, speaking of Francisco Lindor, this just came to mind. Would you rather keep Lindor for the next, what is it, I think 2 years we have him under contract?
It's okay.
Okay, and get nothing for him at the end of that? or trade him now and get some potential prospects that'll be good over time?
Oh, well, that's the ultimate question right now, right? I mean, that's what the Indians themselves are looking at.
I was thinking
Let's
about
keep
this.
them. Let's
That's
keep
what I
them.
said.
Let's keep
Yes,
them.
that's what I said.
You know
too.
what? We've got starting pitching. If these guys get healthy, we got the kind of starting pitching that can bring us somewhere. If we get to the playoffs in the majors, you never know what's going to happen with Major League Baseball. So, yeah, keep him. I want that guy around, even if we get nothing in 2 years.
Good work. I'm with you there. I am absolutely with you. I mean, think about this. You got Oscar Mercado. You're going to have Bobby Bradley up, the assassin, your guy, and Lindor. And then if you can get Kipnis or Jose Ramirez to hit a couple of hits here and there, you got yourself a baseball team.
Kipnis hit number 2 over the weekend. How about that? His second dinger.
I saw that.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
He's on a roll, baby. It's on a roll. So, yeah, the guys start hitting. How about Encarnacion now going to the Yankees and leaving the AL? And, couldn't have used that guy, right?
Right.
Guy.
To be fair, Carlos Santana is playing a little bit better than him.
That's a good point. Very good point. Yeah, head to head. That's right. It's all about the trade-offs.
That's right. All right, Chris, hit us with a would you rather.
All right. Bree, would you rather attend an Indians game or the Jarvis Landry Celebrity Softball game in the rain?
I mean, what kind of question is this?
I don't know.
Actually, this is really hard because Bernie Kosar was at the Celebrity Softball game, so I think that maybe I would sit through the rain to see Bernie Kosar throw out the first pitch and then assault him to come onto the show.
There we go. Yes.
All right, guys. A little throwback here for you, Dave. The WNBA season is now underway, which got me thinking of when the Rockers were in town. So when it comes to the now defunct Cleveland team, would you rather Cleveland bring back the Rockers or the Crunch?
Oh, we got to go with the Crunch.
No love for the Force? Oh. Come on.
Got to go with the Crunch. What, Bree, you're not with me on that?
Predates the Crunch. Come on. That was good times there, too. No love for the
Bree, were you a Rockers fan?
I mean, I vaguely remember it, but to have, I think.
Well, you played ball growing up. I mean, we saw you in that vintage article on the newspaper.
I know. I'll have to pull that back out for y'all.
That's right. You got to. I don't really remember the Rockers. I remember like an infographic I saw in a magazine one time.
What year was that?
I don't know, Alec. Look that up for me.
Get on that.
What
Guarantee
year?
The logo was a guitar, though. It had to be.
Had to have been. I feel like that's what I remember.
Would have been a missed opportunity.
That's right. We don't miss many of those opportunities either in Cleveland.
That's right. All right, Chris, one more for you. Would you rather be a punter or a kicker for an NFL team?
I'm a realistic 40-year-old guy. Make me a punter. And make me a punter on the Cleveland Browns this season because hopefully I don't have a whole lot of work to do.
That's right. Jamie Gillan's going to beat you out for it. I'm sorry.
Oh, my man.
You guys.
What's that, Bree?
Sorry, I jumped in. I did Alex work for him, 97 to 2003, and it was a guitar on the R. Pretty cool logo. I like it.
Really, they nailed it.
I do remember that.
We're going to have to do a top 10 list of all the guitar logos in Cleveland ever used.
I guess.
Oh my gosh. Excuse me.
There it is. All right, let's do some bold. Let's do some bold predictions and get on out of here. Alec, how did we do last week on our bold predictions?
Awesome.
All right, I'm going to start with you, Dave. Last week, you predicted, for whatever the hell reason, that the Warriors would come back from down 3-1.
What's that all about?
But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
Dave, do you want to explain yourself there?
I didn't want it to happen, so I was emotionally hedging myself.
Yeah.
But the Raptors got the job done in 6. I'll give you a correct number: 5-6.
All right, I'll take it.
Chris, you predicted that Dustin Johnson would win the U.S. Open.
Yes, Dustin Johnson. What a good outing for him.
How do you do, Chris?
Did not win. Gary Woodland won.
Did he cheat?
Dustin Johnson, I'm going to give up on him. I gave up on Kuchar. I'm going to give up on Dustin Johnson. Both those guys. I'm just going to give up on golf. I'm going to stop trying to pick golfers.
There you go.
So what's Chris's record?
Chris, you're 1-10. 1-10.
Say it louder.
Wow.
Come on, Chris. You got to do better. You're 1-10. You got 10 in something, but not in the right thing.
All right, Alec, keep it going. How'd Bree do?
Bree, you said last week that the Raptors would finish it off at Game 5, and you were wrong by 2 points.
Ridiculous.
And the Warriors escaped Toronto with Kevin Durant down, which was revealed to be a torn Achilles, but the Raptors took the series. So you are now at 3-5.
Ugh.
Wow.
One blown timeout away from out that victory.
That was a good series. I don't watch a whole lot of
great.
NBA, but that was when the Cavs aren't in it. But that was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
All right, my bold prediction for this week, I am going to say that the Cavaliers are going to take DeAndre Hunter. I think he's the best. I think he's the best player. I'm with Sam Amico. I believe he said that as well when he had it on just 20 minutes ago. Going DeAndre Hunter for the Cavs, number 5.
Awesome. I got a prediction for you. This is the week. Bree, Dave, this is the week the Cleveland Indians are going to call up the assassin. Yeah, Bobby Bradley. Let's go. Let's get him up there, get him out of Columbus, get him into Cleveland, get him hitting and mashing at the Jag. Love it. It's happening this week.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yes.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Bree, what do you got for us? What is your bold prediction for the week?
All right, Dave, I'm gonna go the opposite of you here and say that the Cavs actually trade the 5th pick.
Oh no! For what?
I was going to
trade up.
Yeah, trade down, not up. I don't think they have enough assets to actually trade up, but I was going to go with my bold prediction that Chris would actually win this week, but I can't confidently say that he will after he picks the assassin.
Wait until the assassin gets here.
I hope so.
20-plus home runs in the minors right now. Lead the International League. He's a stud.
Chris,
who cares that he can't play defense?
Chris, I love that you knew that your record was going to be so bad. So your only one out of the one of 10 is that, what was it, Lindor wouldn't hit a grand slam over like the next 2 days?
Right.
It was that Lindor wouldn't hit a grand slam over the week.
Yeah. And in that stretch, he did not. I nailed it.
Wow.
We have some storms coming through.
Oh, boy.
I just heard a bolt of lightning.
All right, let's get out of here before we have any earthquakes.
Stay safe, everyone.
That's right.
Yeah, no kidding. God didn't like something I put out over the airwaves.
That's right. All right, great show. Fantastic stuff. Thanks to Jamie Gillan. Thanks, Sam Amico. Awesome interviews. That was fantastic. Let's get out of here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next Monday night at 9 p.m. Later.
Call up the assassin.